Everyone, Regal Reviews here. It is Movie Monday. So, to continue with my Harry Potter Movie Monday theme, today I'll be reviewing The Prisoner of Azkaban. Now, I gotta say, every time, I have the worst luck of this movie, because every time this is on ABC Family for Harry Potter weekend, I always miss it. So, I caught up on The Prisoner of Azkaban, and it basically starts off with Henry trying to get Dursley to sign his permission slip for school, but he says if he behaves, because I guess it's Vernon's sister's visiting, and of course she's downgrading Harry and his family, and Harry uses magic on her, which is quite funny because she like blows up like this. And Harry feels kind of bad what he did, so he runs away, and this magical bus picks him up and takes him to the Leaky Cauldron, which is a hotel, I guess, in Diagon Alley. And he sees in the paper that there is on the front page that Sirius Black is out of, like, broke out of Azkaban. So when they go on well, actually, I think it was Ron's father who warned Harry not to go looking for Sirius Black, and he's like, why would I look for him? So on the train, the Hogwarts, they share this, I don't know what you call it, compartment with this mysterious guy, and they find out it's Mr. R.J. Lupin, who we don't know who he is yet. And suddenly the train stops, and this dark cloud comes in, and Harry faints, and when he comes to, Professor Lupin gives him this chocolate and helps him, and you see them go the start of the year ceremonies, and we learn that, well, I guess I kind of said it, but R.J. Lupin will be taking the new post as Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher. And Hagrid will actually be a teacher this year, and he'll be teaching them about the creatures. So, there's, with the news of Sirius Black escaping, there's now Dementors now at Hogwarts, and Dementors are literally soul suckers. Like, Dementor's kiss can literally, like, suck the soul out of you, something like that. And Professor Lupin seems to be a favorite among the kids at Hogwarts, especially his first lesson. He's the spell ridiculous. When the spell is you have to change what you have to think of what you fear most and change it into something happy. And he seems to take Harry under his wing in a way, especially when he's not allowed to go to Hogsmeade because of the Dursleys not being able to sign his permission slip. I mean, it was kind of sad because he was actually asking Professor McGonagall to help sign it, and she wouldn't. So, George and Fred, who are Ron's brothers, give him the Mortars map, which is this map that they use to see where everybody is in Hogwarts and what they're doing. And Harry uses that to go to Hogsmeade, and he learns quite a bit of information there. He uses his invisibility cloak he got in the first movie, and he learns that Sirius Black, for what we understand, betrayed the Potters to Voldemort, and that's why they died. And Professor McGonagall reveals that Sirius Black is Harry Potter's godfather. So I was like, wow. And Harry says he wants to learn how to fight because when the time comes, he's going to kill him. And Professor Lupin then teaches Harry some magic, some new spells. And with Hagrid and his lessons, nobody could figure out how to open his textbook, which is like a monster book. And the first lesson, he tries to teach him how to tame this, I think it's a hippogriff named Buckbeak, and Harry was able to tame him, but Malfoy provokes Buckbeak and he hits him. And of course Malfoy, always makes matters worse, and he tells his father, and he orders Buckbeak to be put down. And we see we see that unfortunate scene, and it just sucks because of Malfoy that all happened. And meanwhile, there's um, they believe that Sirius Black is in Hogwarts, so Hogwarts is done on lockdown, but they can't find Sirius Black. But um, they after Buckbeak is executed, I believe they. I'm not sure about this part here. I think they went to learn about um I think they went to find actually Scabbers, Ron's rat that we saw in the movie, and he was running away, and we see that they found Sirius Black, and we find that Lupin knows who he is, and we're thinking like Sirius Black is the villain, and Professor Lupin is helping him, and Harry feels betrayed that this guy, you know, di- is helping the so-called villain, and he's telling him that Peter Pettigrew is the villain, and we're thinking like, where's this guy at? And they're saying that it's Scabbers the rat, and it all kind of makes sense because Ron says, "How long have you had it?" 13 years, which is when the Potters were betrayed. And sure enough, they use magic, and Peter Pettigrew is himself again, and we learn that he was the one who indeed betrayed Lily and James Potter to Voldemort. And Sirius Black spent 13 years in jail, even though he was innocent. And um, they they're going back to Hogwarts because they originally wanted to kill Peter Pettigrew, but Harry didn't want to kill him, but he said let the Dementors deal with him. And Sirius and Harry kind of have this sweet scene because he offers Harry to come live with him, which Harry's never had a great life, so this is a great opportunity for him to get to know family. And it's kind of dashed because it's a full moon, and as we learn in the movie that Professor Lupin is a werewolf, and he starts to turn into a werewolf, and Sirius goes to help him, and Peter takes that opportunity to turn back into a rat again, and he scurries off, which I guess that kind of makes sense because he was a rat, so it makes sense that he is a rat then. So they go to save Lupin, and I believe a Dementor was gonna get Harry, but something happens and they're back in the nurses wing, and Hermione then reveals that she's been using this time turner all year because she's taken a lot of classes, and it explains why she's suddenly in Professor Trelawney's class but then outside and everything, and she wasn't good in Professor Trelawney's class. That's one thing she struggled in, but they don't have that much time, so Hermione and Harry use the time turner to go back, and they actually save Buckbeak from getting executed. And that whole scene of them meeting Sirius again is nothing changed there, but she he then said because I think Harry then defeated the Dementor, and because they all believe a Sirius Black is this escaped convict, and Buckbeak is this mad animal. Sirius has no choice but to leave Harry, so Harry doesn't get to live with Sirius, and Sirius kind of goes off into hiding, but he gives compliments to both Harry and Hermione. And when they come back to the nurses' wing, Ron's like, "What? You were just there. Why are you there?" And Dumbledore kind of secretly knows like what they did. And even though Harry couldn't live with Sirius, he did sign the permission slip, I believe, and he also gave him a firebolt broom, which it comes in handy because his broom that Professor McGonagall gave him, the Nimbus 2000, was destroyed in the Quidditch match. So it's great that Harry now finally has family, which is something he's always wanted. And it's unfortunate because Professor Lupin then resigned his position because he was afraid that the letters would go out and people wouldn't want him teaching there because he's a werewolf. So I'm I know because I've seen the movies that this isn't the last we're gonna see of Professor Lupin. Um, I'm excited to see more Sirius Black scenes. Next week I'll be reviewing Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, one of my favorites. So I hope you guys enjoyed this Prisoner of Azkaban review. Like, subscribe, and remember, stay regal.